السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. رب اجعل هذا البلد آمنا وجنبني وبني أن نعبد الأصنام. السلام عليكم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining this halaqah discussion. Inshallah, we will continue to study the story of Abraham in the Quran, and we studied up just last week. We studied a few words, and we are going to study today, inshallah, about this Abraham's search, observable witness for his belief, inshallah. So we were, and the verse is from section 6, An'am, and verse number 77. فلما رأى القمر بازغا قال هذا ربي. It is interesting. Of course, we understand that the Prophet Abraham was looking for an explanation for his existence, and the culture didn't have any kind of idea about God. That's why he doesn't use the word God, but symbolically use the word Rabbi. It means my Lord, which means who, not necessarily Rab is the name of God, one of the names of God, but it is because he wanted to understand who is the owner of this world, who cares of this world, takes care of this world, who provides everything, what is going on in this world. All these are the researches of Abraham. It is not only particular to the Prophet Abraham, but at the same time, every person is really represented in this world. It means you and I also have to leave this previous culture or previous understandings aside and go and start the search of the one who is taking care of this universe, the one who brought this universe into existence, and the one who is really providing all my necessary things for me and giving me all these qualities, giving me the quality to question what is going on in this world. So, sorry for the background noise. I'm sorry, I had to remind people to keep quiet here because It's not my house. So anyway, it is one of the masajid of New York. Alhamdulillah, I got my place there and we are having this discussion. So what we have to do, rather than using our previous belief, we have to ask from scratch, who is the one who is responsible for this universe, for my existence? Definitely, if we make a search about this, we will definitely look for other options which may be the one who is responsible for the existence and the provisions of this world, or really taking care of this world. The Prophet Abraham was looking for this Rabb. So I'm repeating again, it is very important. When he's looked at the moon, when he saw the moon, it doesn't mean that he has never seen the moon and then he just saw it at first time, the moon rising. It is obvious. I mean, everybody from the very beginning of their childhood, they understand that the moon is out there, the sun is out there, the climate and other seasons are all there, the stars all there. But it is the way God is teaching me and us. You have to start all possible ways that you can explain the existence of the universe and the other stuff, what is going on in this universe, who is organizing, who is really responsible for the order of this universe. The Prophet Abraham first pointed out the first obvious, explanation, maybe, which appears to be for me within my own cultural environment. Of course, in his culture, the people around him were idol worshippers, which means they didn't believe in God. Maybe they believed in such a creator or something, but they did have no religious tradition from their big ancestral heritage. So they were completely ignorant of any kind of religious tradition at all. Why God tells me, that is really striking for me. I was really wondering why Abraham's story, as if he has just seen a moon in his whole time, that time, and he said, oh, the moon is rising now, this is my Lord. It means, my Lord means here what? Not necessarily God, or as we understand the term in general term in the Quran, told a Rabb, my Rabb, as a name of God. No, I don't feel that it is really relevant to this journey of search for an explanation of what is going on in this world. But فلما أفل قال لئن لم يهدني ربي لأكونن من القوم الظالمين. What he said, if my Lord, again my Lord, when he saw that the moon set, it means lost its effect on everything. But at first, we discussed this last week, at first it seems to be moon is overlooking at everything in the world as far as we can see. Of course, nowadays we understand that the world doesn't consist of only the globe of Earth, the whole universe. Whatever appears to be, for example, we keep repeating this word that nowadays the culture is based on laws invading everywhere in the world, or nature, they call it. Whatever it is everywhere in the universe operating in the same way. So we will say, look, let me investigate whether they have any power to be cause of existence of this universe and to control the universe. We see that everything in the universe is subject to an order, which things come into existence. None of the parts of this universe has any quality to be responsible for the existence of the whole universe. So the moon or the following examples will demonstrate the same thing. When they disappear in our understanding that they cannot be the source of existence of anything at all, they don't have any will, they have to follow the order of the universe, they cannot go beyond it, and they cannot have anything to decide, but they themselves need to be created, given existence, because they exist. They cannot get out of the limitations of the order of the universe. So when it's said, it means when we understand that what they are talking about is nature, we understand that, look, what is this? Let me see. Does he have any quality at all? We discussed this matter a lot, so I will cut it short here. No, they are just slaves of the order of this universe. Whoever has established the order of the universe is responsible for for everything what is going on in this universe. Now we understood, if we understand that, when it's said, it means فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ. It means it lost its quality to be the source of existence of this universe. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ قَالَ لَإِنْ لَمْ يَهْدِنِي رَبِّي. This is very important to again notice the.
Yeah, come to close it.
Excuse me. I am sorry, these people. Okay, so when it's said, it means when we realize that it has lost its quality to be the responsible source of existence of this universe, what he said, if my Lord doesn't guide me, as if it seems to be when also we read in some commentaries that they talk in this way, doesn't matter, everybody is free to understand however they like. We have to really get the gist message of the verse. So if my Lord doesn't guide me, what does it mean? Whoever has given these qualities to me, if it doesn't provide me a satisfactory answer, this is my Lord. My Lord is nothing to do with God now in his mind. So he's looking for it. He's searching for it. That's what we understood that. But we can say, oh, was the prophet Abraham, or did the prophet Abraham didn't believe in God at all? It is not the problem, because this is the teaching of the Quran telling us that you have to go and follow this journey in your own practical life. That is the way of teaching the Quran. That is the rhetoric of the teaching of the Quran, to teach me what to do in this world. The Quran doesn't teach me what happened to the life, to the prophet Abraham in his life, or other prophets as well. What shall I do with their life story? What shall I do with their life story? It is no good for me. It happened, I don't know when, I don't know. But if I take it to myself, I will definitely excuse me. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I hope you don't mind. It distracted my attention as well. So I would say, okay, I am going to get a satisfactory answer for my own capacity. Because my Lord here, I understand, if my Lord doesn't guide me, I understand that he means, oh man, for example, speaking to me, that the Quran is speaking to me now, oh Ali, whoever gave you existence must show you the way to answer your existential questions. You have to get the answer from the source of your own existence. Go and search for it. So I will definitely become one of those lost people. It means like these people, some, of course, in other parts of the Quran, it is told that Abraham was really making sarcastic comments on the idols that the people were following. Whatever the ideology they follow did not satisfy Abraham. We will study further, of course. This is just the second session we have about the life of the story of Abraham in the Quran related to my life. So definitely the one who gave me this sense of inquiry, questioning, wondering what is going on to me, this quality is given to me in order to use it and make search for an answer. So it means I will continue to search what is the mystery of this creation. What is the mystery of this creation? So until I get a satisfactory answer to my own capacity, which is given to me, so I will understand this is the answer from my Lord, from the one who really provided my life here and gave me all these qualities that I have to use. Again, that is very important to pay attention that the prophet Abraham, of course, was a prophet. He believed in God. So he says, my Lord means really what we believe in, unique, absolute being as the creator. But he is showing me from the very scratch of how I should do my own search and get a satisfactory answer to myself. That is why the Quran, in other verses, we will study the way Prophet Abraham followed in order to establish his faith, was represented in the Quran, the natural religion. What does it mean? Not the naturalist religion, definitely. The religion which will satisfy my own being as I am, the way I am made, the way I am created. But he is now being honest to himself. It is an excellent, admirable the way of making the search. Just looking for an answer to your human questions as you are. Because we have to say, whoever gave me these qualities must provide the answer for it, because I'm asking the question, I'm wondering. He gave me the capacity to wonder, to question, to get it and seek for a satisfactory answer. I would understand that فطر الناس على الناس. So فطر الناس الذي فطر الناس. Okay, I'm confusing the words now. I follow a religion which God, excuse me, they may sorry for this inconvenience. So let's continue how this, I don't know the best word in English, natural way of making a search. Starting from, again, I repeat the importance of this word, from scratch, not taking any previous information that I have learned from my environment and come to a conclusion following this process that God is teaching me in the Quran as an example of Abraham's experience. Abraham represents as the leader of the believers in the Quran, Imam. So it is interesting. We have to take it. So let's go to the verse 78. Then, sorry. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً. Now, yes, moon disappeared. It means this idea, this way of interpreting or explaining my existence, who is taking care of me and who is responsible for my existence and the existence of everything, arranged my existence within the universe, so perfectly adjusted everything. So definitely that is exciting for Abraham. Who is doing that? So when he saw the sun rising, yes, one ideology is fallen. No, they cannot explain it. But another one, as if another philosophical tradition comes up and saying that I'm going to explain how the universe is working. Natural or no, accidental. No, has a beginning and it develops itself by itself. No, it is eternal. Universe is eternal, all the theories. And multiverse theories are nowadays invading everywhere. endless universes happened, but endless, where is endless? The universe is limited. They also know that it is limited. It is expanding. It means it has a certain limitations. So the limitations are expanding. Everybody knows that the universe is expanding. They cannot deny that. What does it mean? They must have a beginning so that it is expanding, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It means they had a beginning. Definitely. And also, we see that every moment, everything is giving a new creation. It means new form, new qualities, and everything is renewed continuously. So, one philosophical theory is proven to be not valid, not acceptable, not logically, doesn't logically make sense. So another one rises now. When he saw the sun rising, again, فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. Okay, another one now. And this is my Lord. Oh, look, قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, because هَذَا أكبر. This is even bigger. It means a comprehensive theory seems to be. But when it too sat, فلما أفلت, no, قال يا قوم إني بريء مما تشركون. When it too sat, he said, my people, no. All the people who are trying to convince me, who are trying to say that, come on, Abraham, or for me, Ali, stop searching, follow the place, the people around you, go with the flow of the civilization, life here. So I just said, so my people, I disown all that you worship other than God. Means really there is no God here. Tushrikun. Whatever you assign as to be the verse of existence, actually this, you worship other than God is not, there is no God here. There is no God. Okay, let's go to Arabic. Inni beri'un mimma tushrikun. Whatever makes you make sure. It means instead of the real Lord of the universe, you come up with an strange idea. That means which doesn't make sense, which doesn't have the quality to be a certain source of existence so that I can explain my reality in this world. So I should be very careful in choosing the, sorry, I don't know whether I can make any mark at all so that I will, yeah, I could, all right. So I will just check for a bit. Actually, so far, of course, the word shirk, mushrik, yushrik, tushrik, tushrikun, as it is used here, I couldn't find a best way of explaining it. Assigning, accepting other idols, what does it mean? Other idols, well, I mean, other than God, what if you have the concept of God, and if this concept of God is correct, what you have to do, you have to follow it. Why do you assign anything next to it? Of course, it has other implications, but here Abraham is not going into the implications of other ways of explaining the word or explaining anything. For example, let's say, yes, a simple example. Yeah, you know what? Air is very essential. Without air, I cannot really keep my life going on. So air is the responsible agent for my life's continuation of for my life. Even agent. That is assigning a quality of the creator of something. Then if it has the quality of creating something, it should be the Lord of the universe, Rabbul Alameen. Because we are looking for the explanation of the whole universe, how it happened in its entirety, together with all its parts, elements in it. So I don't know, please try to find out the best way of translating shirk. Then we can really conjugate other forms of the word or this word shirk in English. But not, usually they say nothing worth of worship other than God. I'm not saying they are wrong. Of course, I couldn't find any best way of explaining it without using previous ideologies or previous culture. So even apparently every decade, actually, I see that every decade has a new ideology coming into the culture, and the people think that this is the only way to explain existence. So instead of God, they just use another way of explaining the universe. So I have to prepare myself. Okay. Now, shall we go to the other verse, inshallah? Would you like to have any comment, anything to say? Any?
Instead of that, we can say like any source that doesn't have the qualities to be a Lord.
Any ideology, any source in the universe, but the source itself must be explained according to one way of, ideology means any idea. It here is not really ideology in general sense I'm using. Any idea which claims that they will explain the universe or they are explaining the universe. For example, a theory comes up. I don't know whether you don't have to follow, but whether what the news theory saying that we are going to explain how the universe is existing. Okay, let me read before going into this new verse now.
Can you finish your point? Any idea, theory comes up that we are going to explain how the universe exists?
No, speak slowly. Yeah.
You were saying that any theory that comes up that is going to explain how the universe exists.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for clarifying your language as well. I mean, you are, but my ear problem here, hearing problem. Thank you. It is a good way of putting it, but let's find a phrase for sure. Sarah suggests appropriating inequality to creation itself. Okay, one option, but okay, for appropriating inequality to creation itself, it means to explain the creation or existence. maybe. Okay, we have to think about it. Thank you for suggesting. And Arona says, for the explanation of shirk, assigning the power of bringing things into existence to something in this world. Yeah, existence of anything, maybe. Arona, good try, everybody. Maybe you mean existence of anything of this universe. Explanation of shirk. So it is difficult, but we have to go. We have to go and make it as short as possible. We have to work on it. I think it is not that simple. It must be so carefully chosen words, actually. But if we don't start like this, we cannot get the end. So it must have a beginning. Inshallah, everything has a beginning in this world. And the way we are thinking must have a beginning in this world as well. So let's go there. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض. It is beautiful. This Abrahamic story in the Quran is really very, very human. Very human. You can speak to everyone by following the example of the Abrahamic story, Abraham's way of searching for the reality. I have turned my face. It means I am in expectation of the help of the one who brought into existence the heavens and the earth, everything. The one who can be the source of existence of the heavens and the earth. Of course, in the Quranic language, the heavens and the earth, samawat wal ard, represents the universe, all of it, everything in it as well. So I am looking for an explanation then this explanation will be a satisfactory way of understanding the universe has come into existence by this authority or this source. I am looking for it. فَتَرَ السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضَ حَنِيفًا. That is my intention is to be Hanif. This is also very interesting vocabulary that the Quran uses this in a specific way, rather than the tradition of the people of that time when the Quran was first revealed. Hanif means pure, submitting to the goodness in general, not God that time, goodness. So not having any capricious attitude and not trying to really dominate over people, etc., etc. Very docile and also kind person who doesn't want to harm anyone. This kind of vocabulary is used. But Quran takes this word and uses for the innocent search of any human being, innocent, no prejudice, no bias ideology, no conditional thinking at all. Just I am looking for an answer to my very human questions. So that is Hanif, and that's what I understand from it. It is generally translated in the Quran, in the translations of the Quran in English, turning one's face away from all that is false. It means looking for the truth alone. But the truth for what? The way to explain the universe, the existence. So, وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Again, the same word is repeated. I am not one of the idolaters. It means I am not one that will be satisfied with explaining the universe, assigning it this quality of lordship, honor to any part of this universe. That is idol. Maybe we may talk about it a bit more, about this the word idol, although it is not used here. The word idol is not used here, but وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, I am not one of the mushrik. It means idol. What is idol? Anything of this universe, anything of my own feelings, etc., or my own claims, including that, anything of this universe cannot be the responsible agent for the existence of this universe. It cannot be. That is what I understand from idol, asnam. What else? There was another word in the Quran used for idol. Yeah, okay, sanem, asnam, but shirk is translated as idolaters. But anyways, let them translate as much as they can in the best way. They do it. So, وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ means I am not going to take a part of this universe as to be the responsible agent for the existence of the whole universe, including everything, because it's a part of it. It's impossible. We always says that a part of something cannot be responsible for the existence of it is whole. It is a part of it. So we have to explain every single being, and including whole universe, in a way that it will make sense to me. وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ here. So searching, we have to search also, we ourselves have to do the same search also. Okay. All right, let me do some technical things that disturbs my. Okay, now it's okay now. Hanifan, we have to be Hanif, but is it easy? I don't think so. I don't think it is easy to be that innocent, that Hanif nowadays. Either those people who don't believe in God and who don't want to follow any religion have their own bias. And we have our own religious tradition. I'm not saying we should just reject it. Rejecting is different from putting aside.
A question. Sorry.
Sorry.
What does Hanif means? You said the word Hanif. I'm not sure what that means.
I have been explaining it, searching Hanif means, in the Quranic terminology, searching for the truth with no bias attitude. So turning away from all that is false. It means I am looking for the truth. I don't take anything for granted to be the answer of my search. Either denial or cultural heritage. Just following But with it, root word has nothing to do with it, Hanifa. Hanifa. So this is a specific word used in the Quran, specifically referred to Abraham's attitude in search of the truth. We have to understand it within the context and give the meaning to it, not necessarily a vocabulary, not dictionary meaning to it. Dictionary meaning it cannot be justifiable to explain the vocabulary of any Quranic terminology at all. That is why Hanif, I am trying to explain it, either denial side, it means there is no creator, it is happening by itself, or the natural laws in the universe is operating in the universe by themselves, or universe itself is eternal, there is no beginning, there is no end. Okay, does it satisfy you as a human being without having any prejudice, such as those people, especially who don't want to accept the creator, God, what they say, I'm not going to follow a religion. Religion doesn't make sense. Institutionalized religion is institutionalized, politically exploited, etc., etc. I'm not going to follow that one. So I have to find an explanation for the existence of this universe, but within this universe. But reason may force you to get or to release yourself from this condition. Within this universe, I have to explain the universe. This is a biased attitude. Okay, that is one side of it. So Hanif means I'm not going to be on this side because it has bias. It is a bias. So on the other side, I have my cultural background. I cannot deny it. I heard the word God, I heard the word the prophet and angels, etc. There are lots of concepts. Okay, leave it aside for a while. Again, I'm repeating, it doesn't mean I have to reject them. Leave it aside and then start the search as Abrahamic example is presented to us in the Quran. I have to do it in the same way. How is it? Okay, let me see how can I explain who my owner is, who my protector, provider is, the one who is taking care of universe. Put me here. That's what we started discussion today. That is called in the Abrahamic example of the Quran, Lord, my Rabb. So it doesn't mean anything to do with God at all. My Lord, God is the conclusion. He's looking for God, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know God. We have to say, okay, if I want to follow the prophet Abraham's example, I have to put aside, because I know lots of religious concepts. Maybe I confirm them for some reasons, but let's do this together with Abraham's story. So we have to be Hanif in our search, and then see how much what I inherited from the legacy of my culture, religious culture, of course, Islamic culture now, what I have in my legacy, I have to see whether this Hanifan search of the truth justifies what I have inherited from my legacy. Because Quran is very severe about the people who follow their ancestral religion, habit, customary life. So very severe. I have to say that, look, I don't want to follow my culture. I have to make it sense whether it is acceptable or not. I have to investigate it. That's why we see in the example of Prophet Abraham. So, inshallah, before we close, yeah. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب أرني كيف تحيي الموتى. Look at this Hanif, Putra, natural question. When Ibrahim said, oh my Lord, Lord again, Lord, hey, the one who takes care of this universe, show me how you give life to the dead. Doesn't necessarily mean hashr. It means resurrection. But, for example, I cannot explain the source of existence of life. How do you do that? How do you do that? Of course, the main concern is when I receive the message from, of course, this changed now in other section of the Quran, Baqarah 260, the subject a little bit changed now, but it is the way of teaching of the Quran, how I should question resurrection, or how I should question how life is given, so that I will understand the one who gives life to me now or to living beings altogether must be the one who is the source of existence of life. If the source of existence of life is the absolute one, it means absolute source of existence of life, then he can give life to anything as he does here in this world, anytime, because there is no limit, there should be no limit for the absolute one. So, in a fitri way, again, Abraham asks, show me how you give life to the dead beings. For example, from the earth, plant comes. They say this is an animate being. From the plant, the animals eat the plant, animals come. Animals are created, and human beings are created originally from the earth. Then, Quran keeps this example, repeating this example on various places. He is the one who gives life to dead, and he is promising that he will give life to dead. So he said, "Evelem tu'min." So this is the way of argument. But the Lord says, don't you believe that the one who creates the universe can do it? Don't you not believe that? Yes. Abraham said, قال بلى ولكن ليطمئن قلبي. Now, by definition again, if the one who created the universe, there is such thing, then I believe that he is the source of existence of life as well, but not other physical beings, but non-physical beings as well. So that I understand the one who created the universe must be the source of life. But really, what is this life, mystery of life? I should understand this. So, قال فخذ أربعة من الطير فصرهن إليك ثم اجعل على كل what's going on? على كل, is it? No, على كل. Yeah. Sorry. I cannot see it. I don't have my glasses. على كل جبل Oh, okay. I cannot see it. I'm not the Hafiz, and I haven't memorized it. Mütte, müttehunne, no. Okay, I shouldn't make up really. Or I don't know
Minhunna.
the- Sorry?
Minhunna. Juz'a thumma.
Minhunne. Minhunne juz'en. Okay, so because I cannot read it, so let's work on the translation. But just to put my heart at ease, at rest. Now, I have to be very comfortable within my own feelings as well as my own reasoning. Just to put my heart at rest. So this is very important. Not only logical reasoning satisfies human beings. Yeah, the one who created the universe must be the source of existence of life. That is easy. And that is understandable by reason. But feeling says, yeah, it must be so, but how does it do it? I don't understand. So heart must be satisfied. So we understand that in order to have a firm conviction about the answers to our questions, not only that we should be satisfied rationally, but also our feelings must be satisfied with them. All right. Then place them on separate heel tops. It means put them, I mean, just spread them. What is, I have to tell here, the Nursi gives a very good example. Take in this word, the source of life seems to be the seeds of the plants and seeds of animal cement or whatever they call it, the eggs and whatever this cells. Okay, how much they are mixed up doesn't really matter. Scatter them in the earth. Call them back. It means wait until next season. And they will come flying to you. Oh, they will come alive to you. Look, definitely, the things are not confused, deliberately given individual existence, individual life, individual characteristics, unique to each of them. Who can do it? Only the one who is the source of existence of the order of the universe. Now, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Know that the teaching says now God is almighty and all-wise. God is almighty and all-wise. It means the one who created the universe is almighty. It means everything is possible for him. And whatever he does, he does it in a wise way. What does it mean? I understand from Hakim, wise way, creates in a wise way. I understand it. He creates in a way that it makes sense to me, to human beings. It doesn't really cause any difficulty, any confusion in the minds of any person who is looking for or searching for the truth to explain the reality. So if someone says, that's what sometimes we hear, you know what's going on in this world? we don't understand. It is a matter of faith. You have to believe in God and say, God can do everything. This is not really a wise way of explaining it. And this is not a wise way of presenting the belief responsibility of belief to human beings, so that they will just say, okay, I have to wait faith, I have to have faith, I believe in God, and I shouldn't doubt about anything. That is not wise. God creates in a wise way, then we have to understand it, that it makes sense to me. It is a wise thing or wise way of explaining the existence. So I will understand that the creation is realized in a wise way, and I am looking for a wise explanation of the reality, and universe is representing the evidence within its own existence, that its existence is realized by a wise being who is Aziz, who is really almighty, all-powerful. He has no limitations in his act of creation. So, although the conditions were not really very lovable, but Alhamdulillah, at least we covered until here, and until this second section, Abraham, a model for everyone. Inshallah, under this subtitle, we can continue next week, inshallah. Any further concerns, questions, etc.? Asim, your mic is open. Would you like?
No, sorry.
عليكم السلام. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة